There you go.
Yay. Okay. Everybody, if y'all can post in your groups, I've just posted in there. And remember to tell your girls that for everybody that comments, joins, but you have to say something, whether it's commenting and talking to us, or it's, not making a comment, answering a question, you'll get put in for the margarita machine. We want to make sure to remind everybody that at the first of the meeting.
Here's my question. What color is the margarita machine?
It's turquoise. That's the only color I got. That's it. Wait,
put my name down, Jen.
Put your name down. There you go. There's the first one. I love you.
Okay, so tell us again how they
have to comment one way. You can go in here and type in a question. So you have some people like Miss Amber that's shy, that sometimes doesn't want to always comment because they're slowly getting out of their comfort zone. So they can answer a question or ask a question, and they can type it in. They don't have to physically unmute themselves and answer it, but they have to participate in some form of way. You can't just jump on the meeting. You have to be on here and you have to ask, answer. You have to do a training, you get put in. So every time you do that, you get put in to the drawing for the margarita the machine that we're actually going to do on December the 30th, because that will be our last meeting. So the more times you get on here, the more times you say something. If you train, whatever you do, you get, every time you do that, you get put in for the. So you definitely want to be interacting with us on the meetings or doing a training, one or the other. So share that with your teams and try to encourage them to come on. And this is going to take a bit because we just have directors on here now. So it's going to take a little bit for everybody to get into the routine of things of, oh, it's Wednesday night and we have a meeting at 7. I see it taking a couple of months. And then we'll soon get in the routine to where that's what everybody knows is happening. So I'm going to start. I'm talking about building a sticky community only because that seems to see where some of the leaders are falling short right now. We usually have a break in the summertime where you get a little bit, where things slow down just a little bit, where you can play catch up or you prepare for the fall. This year, it's been like fall since April. It's been slam busy. So we haven't gotten that break. So take, for instance, me, this has been my only job. There are some times that I have setbacks, but I can't ever just be like, oh, I'm going to completely not talk to anybody. I might not always be in the group, but every day I'm talking to directors or people. I can't just take a break from my deal because my team would fall apart. And building a sticky community with your teams is one of the basic things that I started when I first started this business. I didn't have any help. And I had been through probably 10 other direct sales company in my life, like multiple things. I freaking had sold everything before Scentsy. So I look back and I looked at everything that I didn't get out of the leaders. And I'm like, what did I not get that I needed in my business so badly? And that was the relationship part of it. So that's where building the sticky community, I was missing that. You didn't have that. You didn't have somebody that not only checked up on you through whatever business you were doing, but just checked up on you because they loved you. And as you get bigger, you can't check up on everybody. But when you're slowly building, you want to teach your team to check up on them, not just through whatever business you're doing, but also know what's going on in your team and being close to them and building those relationships, because I was missing that. That's the one thing. So we were all extremely close. I knew what was happening. I knew what was going on. When we were small, I knew everything about everybody. I knew what all was going on. If somebody's in the hospital sick, I knew it. You should know that, especially when you're small and starting out. And it's just the caring and the loving part of your business. And I think that it's good business ethics to have that. You want to have that care and that love. And it makes a difference with your team. It makes a difference, when you're getting together, knowing them and them knowing that you love them through everything that you're going through. Sometimes when our businesses, I see my girls' numbers drop and I'm like, okay, what's going on? I automatically already know when they're in their business, when stuff's happening, I know something's wrong. So they didn't have to come and tell me. And I'm like, what's going on? And I call them and I check up on them. And for a lot of my directors, that's the one thing that made them want to be a director, because they're like, oh, the love, the care, we're a family. We're not just here for the money. I mean, we're all here for the money, but it's not just about the money. It's you end up being one of my bloodlines. I can't live without y'all. Um, I love y'all. I don't know what I would do without y'all. And you are my family. So building that with your team, or your team building, is extremely important. You know, they talk about pyramid schemes, which we're not, but in a lot of things that are pyramid schemes, they go out and they get all of these people to come on their team, and they're like, oh, well, they're going to make me money, and the other ones are going to, and then they're going to recruit, and they're going to make me money, and I don't have to do anything. And they have no idea who's on their team. They don't call and contact anybody. They just have the money coming in, but they don't build that sticky community, and they don't build those relationships. And I think building those relationships is something that's super important. And so some of my girls have fallen back, and they're like, April, my numbers are dropping. And I said, what have you been doing with your team in the last couple months? I mean, it's been crazy busy since April. I know that's very, very weird for us. And they're like, oh, I really haven't talked to my team. I really haven't done much. If you're lacking that sticky community to where you are communicating, stuff will fall apart. You can't expect your team to grow and to thrive without having that. You need that. You need it every month. You can't just say, well, I'm going to do it 1 month, and then the next month I'm not going to do it. I'm not going to talk to them or text them or email. Whichever source of communication you decide to have with your team. Everybody's source of communication is differently. My source is definitely picking up the phone and talking to y'all. I do a lot better than that. I get tired of texting. And everybody knows I don't send out emails. So we know that's not my source. But everybody's source is different. So whatever source it is, make sure that you're doing it with your team every single month. And make sure that you know what's going on in their lives. Make sure to check in with them when you see. And it's not about when you see their numbers drop. It's not about, oh gosh, like I'm not going to make all the money off them. It's like, oh, there's something going on. There was one of the Canadian directors that was at the very bottom of it. And I saw her numbers go from the top down to the bottom. And I just sent her a message, and I was like, hey, are you doing okay? And she was like, we moved, and it's just been really hard. We moved out to the country. So there was a drastic change. It wasn't, she said, I'm extremely happy. There was just a drastic change in her life. But even as big as I am, I knew there was something going on because of just looking at her numbers. And sometimes you can look at their numbers and see what they're doing, and there's something that's happening in their life. And that simple phone call of, hey, are you okay? Is there anything you need? Do you need somebody to talk to? Just that simple phone call will make a huge difference in the way that they feel. Feeling loved and feeling cared for, and having that leader that does that picks up the phone or just messages you and asks you, that makes all the difference in the world. So the sticky community is a huge, big deal to me. And when you're building one and consistently doing it, don't just pick up the phone every 6 months and call them. The bigger you get, the harder it is, but that's when you teach your leaders how to do it. So I'm not calling all of my directors' teams. There's some of them that I'm close to that for some reason we had gotten close to training or whatever, that I would check up on, but I let my directors check up on their own teams. That's their jobs, is to take care of their own teams. So when you start producing leaders, we now have almost 1,100 on here. I can't check up on everybody, but my leaders are, and my directors are very, very good about caring and loving for their team and checking up on them. It's something that we're not all perfect at, but they try very, very hard. So we're very blessed to have a team that comes together and cares and loves for each other. So sometimes building a sticky community is hard for people because they're like, well, I don't do well at talking to people. When you were recruiting them, recruit them how you can communicate with them. If you are not a talker on the phone, please do not recruit them talking to them 3 or 4 hours a day and then say, oh, now we're only communicating through text or email. You need to recruit them however you communicate with them as you bring them onto your team, so they have those expectations of, okay, she's one that I can text, but after 9 o'clock at night, I can't text her anymore. That's part of the Sickie community is you set those expectations whenever you get them to join your family. They need to know how you communicate whatever is best for you. Now, there's some that it's text and email, but they will still get on the phone sometimes and talk to me just because they know that I hate to text and email. But their main source of communication is the other, and that's okay too. The same goes with customers. I want to, for your customers, building that same sticky community with your customers. I'm extremely close with a lot of my customers, and I love them. And a lot of them I have become friends with, and I know what's going on in their lives. That little, hey, I'm thinking about you, I haven't heard from you, makes a big difference. A lot of my customers have been with me from the very beginning. I have some customers that order pretty big that never want to be consultants, but even me moving are now like, I'll pay shipping as long as I order from you. And that is because I built that sticky community also with my customers, not just with my team. I built those relationships. I would go, my kids would tell me, okay, Mom, we have all of this to do today, so I'm going to go make your deliveries because you talk too long. And I know that you're going to be gone for like 8 hours and you're not going to get back at home to go do something. So I'm going to go make your deliveries for you because you're not going to shut up. And we're never, ever going to get. My Uncle Danny got in there and he was like, oh, I'll go cruising, listen to music. He was like, anybody ever goes and does deliveries, it's usually the first and the last time that they do it with me. They're like, we're done. I'm like, but I love them. So like, I'll go and sit and have a cup of tea and sit down at the table. And my kids are like, this is driving me crazy. We have stuff to do. But that's how I built those relationships with them. They knew what was going on in my life. So when things got crazy in my life and I couldn't deliver to them because of whether I'm sick or whether there was one December that and I delivered everything. I was laid up on the couch. I was so sick, and my customers were coming to pick up their stuff, which they had never done, but they knew that I was sick. They would bring me food. They would care for me. They would check up on me. So it's kind of nice when you also have those relationships with your customers because they want to support your business. They want to support you and everything that you're doing into it. So relationships are huge in this business. And if you're not doing it, start now. If you don't know where to start, ask one of us. Ask your director. I know for sure all of my directors build those relationships one way or the other, whether it's through email, text, or phone calls. All of my directors have those relationships with those girls. So if you're missing out on having that relationship with your director, reach out to them. You have to remember that we're all human. We all have lots on our team. Once you get past the 20-30 mark, people, sometimes it's hard to keep up. You start getting past 100 plus, it's really hard to keep up. Until you're in our shoes, you don't really understand what we go through on a daily basis. So know that we're human also. So if your director hasn't reached out to you, it might be because your upline is a star consultant and they know that she is amazing and she takes care of her team. And maybe there's a gap in the relationship between you and your upline that your director doesn't know about. And if they don't know about it, they don't know about it unless you come to them and say, okay, well, my upline and me kind of had a falling out, so I'm not getting what I need from her. So then you go to your director. But you have to remember, you need to come to us leaders. We don't always know what's going on. Please, please, please reach out to us because there's not one of my directors that wouldn't say, oh my gosh, I'm here for you. I do. I have 18 of them, and every single one of them would be here for you hands down any day of the week. But please reach out and let them know and know that you have this huge family and that we love you and come to us. And we want to build those relationships with you. And we want to know what's going on. And we also want to know how to help you. If you're struggling with something, again, if we don't know that you're struggling and you're not asking for the help, we don't know to give it to you. We can give you trainings. We can post stuff in our groups. We can do different things. But if we don't know that you're needing something extra, if you're struggling with something, you got to let us know. And then once we know how to help you. So make sure that you ask lots of questions. Use our team pages. We have my big group page. Every one of my directors has their own team pages. use those resources, reach out, ask questions, and know that we love y'all. Um, there's not, it's 7:16. I can't talk about Sticky Community for an hour. It is what it is. It's just loving each other, caring for each other, um, and y'all reaching out to us. So know that it goes both ways. We're not going to constantly be here, feel like we're begging you and saying, oh, what can we do to help you? Oh, I would love to talk to you on the phone. Oh, I want to build this relationship with you, and you not meeting us halfway. I always tell my girls, because they're like, okay, I've contacted this consultant 3 times already. What do I do with it now that I've contacted her? I'm like, and you tell them I'm always here for you. Whenever you are ready, you let me know. I do not want to beg you or feel like that you have to do something that you're not ready to do. And you leave that last text message and you move on. So know at some point, whether it's a director or a star consultant, superstar consultant, my advice to them is always after the first few times of them reaching out to you, if you do not meet them halfway, that we have to walk away and let it go. We cannot, we can't beg you to build those relationships with us, and we can't beg you to come to us for help. You have to be asking, you have to be meeting us, halfway. So know that we're here, but you got to do your part too. Because I've had some people that says, well, my upline don't help me at all, but they've asked you, they've tried to reach out to you, but you didn't meet them halfway. So, coming onto these meetings, that's partly, this is your business. And we are here to help you. We're here to guide you, teach you, inspire you. We're here to do all of those things. But you also have to be doing it, and you also have to be looking at your own stuff and building that relationship. You can't keep asking the same question over and over and over again. Your questions will change as you grow. When you're a essentials consultant, your questions change when you make it to certified. When you get to certified, your questions change as you go up to lead and on up. But if you're stuck at certified, or if you're stuck at lead, and you continue to ask the same questions over and over again, it's hard for us, for our relationship to go from that to building on that relationship and making it any different when you're not moving along and using our advice. So I've had some get upset at me because they're like, well, I don't talk to you anymore. Well, I've talked to you. I know what's going on in your life. I care about you. I love you. But know that I can't call and check up on you when we're talking about certain things and our conversation never moves because you seem to not be. And that's okay. That's okay if you stay at lead. If that's all that you want in this business, it's yours. It's okay if you stay at certified. If you're just ordering for yourself and to get the discount, that's great. That's okay if that's what you want. But if you're wanting more and we keep telling you the same thing over and over and over again to do, and our conversations seem to be the same conversation every week or every month, that's also not fair to us. Know that as we're building the sticky community, it doesn't mean that we don't care, but our conversations have to change because our time is also worth something. We have a lot of girls that work. We have a lot of girls that have kids at home. They work a full-time job. They have husbands. And they do things. So know that our time is also precious. So it's not fair to us for us to be talking to you and answering and telling you the same thing over and over and over again when that 30 minutes could have been with somebody. This is our second or third job. So that our time could be invested with somebody that's ready to move up to the next level. It's not that we don't love you. It's not that we don't care about you, but also realize that our time is valuable, and please respect that of us. And that if you're not ready to move up, or you're not ready to do it or take our advice, or even go and find things on your own, know that that it's not fair for us to keep having that conversation over and over again. I don't know how many we have on here, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. It looks like, if I'm counting right, 12, 13 of us. I just wanted to get, I wanted this to be one of our very first trainings because communication, I've had a few girls come up to me and say, well, they don't talk to me. I need to know that y'all need to respect our directors, respect their time, but also know that they are trying to build these relationships and they love y'all. Meet them halfway with it. I'm going to open up if anybody has any questions, or if you have something that maybe I haven't said that that can build on top of that. Because some people are afraid to tell people because they're like, well, I love them so much. Like, I love what's her name over here, but she just wants to ask me the same questions every month. And I don't have an hour to talk to her about the same thing every single month. And they're afraid to tell people that, one, because they don't want to hurt their feelings. And two, just because they're trying to show kindness and love and they're not wanting to do anything. But we have to, it's some of them, it's hard for some people. Does anybody have anything to build on top of that?
I've got one. I know the answer to this, but I wanted to make sure that that it gets covered. How do you respond to other members that are not directly into your downline? How do you get them to go to their sponsor?
Yes, so we want to talk about chain of command. Yes. So you have to remember, we have some people that you have sitting at lead, but they have star and superstar consultants underneath them. So you do have the chain of command. But we need to make sure we're going through the chain of command. You need to go to your upline first. And then after that upline, if you can't get the help where you needed, you go to their upline. And their upline may or may not be a director, but that doesn't mean that they're not any good. After that, you want to go to your director. And then if your director doesn't help you, I'll have good directors. I'm truly blessed. Not everybody can say this, but I have badass directors. So time you get to your director, you're going to be good. If you're not, for some reason, if you have a conflict with your director, you go to your star director. And then unless I am your direct director, I would be the last one that you would come to. Unless I'm your direct director, I'm your SSD. So I'm the very last person that you come to ask a question. I am getting bombarded with people that have directors, and I'm trying to send everybody to their director because it's hard when I get 100 questions a day and I have all of these amazing directors that can answer those questions just fine. I don't know if it's just because they see my face always in there, my name pop in there, but we definitely need to use the chain of command. You go to your upline, and then you keep going up until you get to your director, and then you're starting your SSD. So make sure that we're using the chain of command. We need to start putting that more into play because it's killing me, and it's killing some of my directors that are like, they have an amazing star consultant. I have an amazing star consultant that takes care of their teams, that does all that. There's no reason for them to come to me and skip right over their star consultant. Yes, I'm their director, but their star consultant kills it. Yeah.
Can I add something?
Yes.
So, Sherry mentioned in the comments about getting more interaction on her personal team page. And I think that goes into play here too. Like, yes, April, you have your big team page, but sometimes questions get missed in there because there are so many people. So if you have a director or a star director between yourself and April, and they have a group, utilize those groups, because even if, so I'm a star director, even if I'm not there, like today I was away all day, but there were 3 questions in my group and they all got answered. Now, if those people would have texted me or messaged me, like Jane messaged me at, 8 o'clock this morning, and I got back to her at 6 because I was gone all day. So utilizing the groups that we have, I think, will help alleviate some of that chain of command issue, like you're talking about, April. But the other thing I wanted to say about sticky community and not wasting people's time is it is totally okay to be honest. And if you know that you're not ready for leadership, you're not ready for leadership. And there is nothing wrong with that. If you're happy being a certified consultant, selling $5,000 a month, and that's all you want to do, there is absolutely nothing wrong with that. Don't feel like you have to take up your director on the training portion of things. Like if your director comes to you and says, "Hey, you're doing great. If you did this, this, and this, you could promote to star super easy. Let's get to work." And you say, "Okay," even though you really don't want to, that does nobody any good. Be honest, because for real, like as a director, I don't want to make you do something you don't want to do. The whole point of having a business, of running your own business, is being able to run your own business. And if you're getting pressured because you're not being honest with yourself or with your director, that sucks. And I'm sorry for you. But you have to be honest, I think, with those things. Like when your director comes to you and says, "How can I help you?" It is perfectly okay to say, "I'm good. I don't need anything. I'm fine where I'm at." There's nothing wrong with that. Yes, in the next couple months, we'll probably come back to you and ask you again, just in case you've changed your mind. But I think being honest with yourself and being honest with your director, star director, superstar director, is super important to help build these sticky communities. Because if you're not being honest, then it's not real. It's not authentic. It's not community, because you're not being honest. And yeah, I think we need that honesty.
Yeah, we most definitely need it, because we can't help you, nor do we want to be trying to help you in a way that you're not even wanting it.
Exactly.
Like team build when you're like,
I don't want a team build.
but
Yeah.
I don't team build. Like, you're not doing us or you any bit of good, because I promise you, look, we think that Scentsy is the bomb. We're director for a reason. We think that there's not a better company out there. We think everybody is crazy for leaving. We think that everybody is crazy for not wanting all the things that we want sometimes. Yes, it's only because we love it, but the realization of it is everybody's heart is at a different place. And your heart just might not be in team building. Your heart might just be in selling. And that's all you want to do is sell. And that's okay. But if we don't know that, you don't tell us, "April, I don't want to recruit. I do not want to team build. I do not care if I ever earn a trip." And that's okay. Like, there's nothing wrong with that. You're doing whatever makes you happy. But if you're telling us something different and we're pouring all this time into it and you're not doing it, when you're telling us that you want something that you don't want, that's no good for anybody, because all it's going to do is stress you out also, because you're like,
Yeah.
"Oh, she's pressuring us for something else that I really don't want, and I do not know how to tell her." Tell us. We're not going to be heartbroken by it. We are going to be like,
Right.
"Thank you for being honest and letting us move on to spend our time in different ways."
We
Exactly.
might be heartbroken. We might be heartbroken,
Well,
but
We
we'll get over
will
it.
for a minute, but it's more for ourselves because we want you to understand how amazing it is. But that's a whole nother issue.
Yes.
I think I'm a people pleaser, and so it's really hard for me when I know somebody wants to hear a specific thing to not tell them that, you know? So, like, April, if she asks me, "Hey, will you do this?" And I say, "Sure," even though I really don't want to do it, I mean, who is that helping? You know what I mean? That's not helping anybody. It's just putting extra stress on me, and then she feels bad later because I'm stressed, and I come whining that I'm stressed, and she stressed me out and made me do something I didn't want to do. And then nobody's happy.
Yes, and it does make it hard on us. It does make us, because then we do feel bad. We feel bad for putting all that stress on you and not even knowing that that's not. We're like, "Crap, we should have known that she didn't want this and we couldn't see it. We thought that we were doing exactly what you wanted us to do, which was to pressure you into team building when you really didn't want it." And if you don't want it, it's okay. We're going to love you no matter what I've had people leave this company and say, "I don't want to disappoint you." I'm like, "Go where your heart's at." And I have one girl that's killing in another direct sales company. I still love her till to this day. She still puts in her $200 order every couple of months for her own personal stuff, but she's killing it in this other direct sales company because that's where her heart was at. And we will love you for whatever choices you make. But yes, being honest with this is always amazing, because we don't want to put any more pressure on you or on ourselves to feel like, "God, are we doing something wrong as a leader?" Because they're just not getting it. I mean, when I say 3:00, 3:00 things, I'm thinking about things at 3 a.m. on how to help somebody. That's a true thing when I'm in bed and I'm like, "Okay, I've tried to help her here, here, and here. What am I doing wrong as a leader? And why isn't she getting it when she's saying she wants this? When in all honestly, that 3 o'clock thought should have never happened because she really didn't want it. And I'm putting way more time and energy than she is because you're afraid that you're going to disappoint us. You're not going to disappoint us. We're going to love and respect whatever you come to us with, no matter what your decision is. But yes, being honest with us would be great.
Just drop something. Okay, so I have something I want to say. I think it's a topic before this, but when we're talking about groups, one thing that I personally experience, okay, just as a consultant, I'm not talking about director or anything else. Just I'll be at work and someone will message me and they'll need an answer, and I can sometimes go in the workstation. I shouldn't do that at work, but sometimes I can go in and sometimes I can find the answer fairly quickly. If I don't know it, sometimes I can't. I just can't get on the workstation. Sometimes it's my question and I just can't find it. Whatever. When questions pop up in the group, whether it's my team group or whether it's in Team Go Get 'Em, I'm really working with my team to feel confident enough to answer those. Because, and sometimes I'll tell my team, hey, put it in Lighthouse, put it in Go Get 'Em, because I don't know the answer and I can't look right now. And they wouldn't have found it either probably, or when they tried. So the other day, one of my girls put something in and it was about like, when does your product credit show up from Sensational Start? Is it you get it and then the next day your credit is there, or is it at the end of the qualification period, end of the 70 days? Is it the 10th of the following month that you actually earned it? What exactly was it? And she had already searched the workstation. And because I had said, hey, I can't look. I don't know the answer to that. So she put it in Go Get 'Em. And I can't remember right now who even answered it, but several people actually. It was a good discussion. And so by the time I got back around to looking to see what she found out in Go Get 'Em, there was a pretty good discussion from more than one person there. And I was like, high five. This is what we need. We need more people who know the answer or think they know the answer to start that dialogue. And I think that my consultant still wasn't completely convinced because there was a couple of suggestions thrown out there. But I think now she feels more confident when she calls or chats with Scentsy because she can present, is it the 10th of the following month? Or is it after the 70 days? Or the 10th of the month after the 70 days? What exactly is that? But before she has expressed to me that she's new. And when I say, hey, we'll chat with Scentsy or call Scentsy or whatever to, helping everybody try to problem solve, right? She has said, I don't know if I got the right answer because I wasn't sure how to word things. So the long and short of what I'm trying to say is it's real easy for people to go, God, why don't they look that answer up themselves? Maybe they did. Or maybe they don't really know what they're looking for. Or maybe you're at work like me and you're really not supposed to be on the workstation. So you try to stay off, and you need a question answered. And it's awesome when there's people that are just like jump in and answer it really quickly, but we need that interaction, I think, from everybody. And if you're confident and you know the answer, jump in and answer it. It doesn't have to be a director that answers it.
No, it doesn't.
Because if you're waiting on me to answer your questions and I've got kids in my classroom, I'm not going to answer questions during the day when I've got kids in there. Because I'm supposed to be doing my job.
Well, and the workstation is sometimes very, very hard to find the right answers that you're looking for. It is not the easiest place to get around. They keep trying to make it better. I still say that it's not the easiest place. And let me go and answer this question while we're on here. So the first 70 days, when you're in your first 70 days, your product. So if your first 70 days ends November the 16th, whatever month it ends in, you will get your product credit the following month after payday or on paydays when your credit will appear. If you get it from so you get $25 for somebody that does their 500 in their first 2 weeks. For every person you get, and all of y'all might want to go check your account tabs because you might be surprised. I've got $75 in there that I keep forgetting to use because I've had 3 people get their shooting star. We get $25 in product credit every time somebody does. I can show his face. Every time somebody does their 500 in the first 2 weeks, we get $25 in product credit. I have $75 sitting there, guys. Go to your account, go to your ledgers, you might be surprised at how much product credit you have sitting in there. I've seen people that's
30 in Canada.
yeah, yes, 30 in Canada. So you'd be surprised at if you forget about that, which I have forgotten because I keep forgetting. I know that it's there, but I keep forgetting to use it. But go to your account, see how much you've got. If you've helped people get to their shooting star and they're your front line, you get $25 every single time you get somebody to do that. And you get the shooting star trainer award. So, and you also get that. So if they hit their 500 in the first 2 weeks in November, you're going to see it in December. It's always going to be the month after whatever it is that they do. After the 70 days, it's the month after. For the 2 weeks, it's the month after. And it's always on payday. But go to your account, go to ledgers. When you go check out, you switch the credit card to, I believe it's your product credit.
Yep.
And then when you do that, it'll show how much you have. And then you just type in, it takes the amount off of your order. And then you finish paying out your order with your credit card. So that's how you use that. But yes, Sherry was right. Asking questions in our team page. One, that person's question should get answered. If it doesn't, tag me in it. I have not been in the group like I normally am. Usually I am in the group all the time. I'm like Johnny on the spot. And the last few months I haven't been because of, well, I decided to get married in 6 weeks. And the moving 5 hours away and moving from there to an apartment, from an apartment to buying a house, from getting out here to trying to put a wedding together. It's been kind of crazy. So, but everybody learns from it. So not only does that one consultant that asked the question learn from it, but people that were scared to ask the question or didn't even know that question even existed, never even thought to even ask that question. So asking them in group pages instead of texting us, I think hands down is the best way to go anyway. I think that we should never text the director. I think you should always go to their team page and then go to the group page, ask it in both pages, because it never hurts to do that. Nobody's ever going to get mad at you for that. And other people are going to learn from it. So when you got your question answered, it might have answered 30 other people's questions. So yeah. I think
on my team page, I also have a couple of my Rockstar consultants as admins. So they can go on and answer questions as well if I'm not on there.
Yeah. So, and everybody in my group, everybody can answer questions. It doesn't matter if you're certified, essential, lead. You could be a rock star that just came in and you're an essential and haven't hit certified yet. And somebody asks a question and you're like, I just totally went through that training and I went through the workstation and I just spent 20 hours reading up all of this stuff and I can answer that question. Answer it for them. And you know what? If you answer it wrong, that's also not the end of the world, because one of us is going to come back and say, I know everybody's still learning here, but here is the answer. Maybe you misunderstood it. I have only had to delete 2 things in 6 years out of my team page for somebody being ugly. It's just not something that you find in my group page. We work better together. And everybody makes mistakes. And if you answer a question wrong, it's okay. Because you know what? Answering it wrong and somebody coming behind you and saying, hey, I'm not trying to be ugly, but this is the right way. Maybe you misunderstood it. Use that and say, oh my gosh, that will stick with you forever because you thought it was something else.
I mean, hello, I posted the complete wrong time when we started these trainings because I wasn't paying attention. And I'm a star director and I've been here 10 years and I still do things wrong. And sometimes I honestly think our newest consultants know more than us because things have changed so much and they go through those new consultant trainings that I haven't been through in 10 years. And sometimes they'll know something that I don't even know. They'll bring up something that's changed, I don't know, 5 years ago, 2 years ago, yesterday, you know, that I haven't had the question since it changed. And so I love when new consultants get involved because sometimes they are better at it than I am.
Well, I actually found myself today in the consultant guide after 10 years trying to find an answer that I ended up having to ask Allison in April because I was like, I could not solve this problem with this lady. And I was thinking, it's got to be American Express and PayPal. I can't figure this out. So I was reading through the consultant guide, trying to figure it out. She
Tell you
ended
what,
up not
we
ordering
learn
in the
a
end.
lot. We learn a lot from Sherry and some of these situations she finds herself in. I'm like, look, I just learned a lot from your question today because I don't know what random stuff and why you have all this random stuff that happens to her, but she has some random stuff happen to
Well,
her.
and then the lady didn't even order it. I was like, are you kidding me? You've been running me around in circles for 3 days. Just get a circle. Just order a circle.
Yeah,
I'm just kidding.
So we learn a lot from Sherry's oddball situations that she has because she's had some very weird ones. But it's true. There are things that come up and they're like, how did you know the answer to it? I was like, it's because of all the messed up stuff that has happened in the last 6 years. Because of all that stuff, we learn from those things and it sticks with us forever. So when you have a situation that you're ready to pull your hair out, know that somebody's going to come along and have the same one. You'll be like, I can answer that. I can tell you what's going to happen and what you need to do because of all the crap that we've been through. So, yes, now I'm going to give everybody a chance because I want everybody to have a chance to be in the drawing for the margarita machine. To either one, you can just give your what is great about your director. Give us some good things about your leader and some good things that's happened to you since you joined our family, or ask a question. But the only way for you to get in the drawing is to communicate with us. So I see there's lots of faces on here. I would love for all of y'all to get into the drawing, but you got to answer a question or ask one. So anybody have anything to say or to input on?
In the chat box, my friend Sherry wrote, my leader is April, and she is so consistent. I learned so much from her.
Aww.
Thank you, Sherry, for sharing.
I love you.
You guys can type it in the chat box and I'll read it for you if you don't want to unmute and say it loud and proud out loud. I would love
to see some.
I know, we would love to hear your voice. I'm sure people are tired of my voice.
Yeah, there's new people in here.
I unmuted. Can you hear me?
Yes.
Yes, ma'am.
So this is my first time in this Google, whatever this is. I'm so, I don't know. Anyway, April is my direct upline, and I love that she just happens to know when to call and kick my ass. Like, she knows when, and she knows, like, when she says stuff, I'm like, yeah. And I'm like, God, she's so right. And it pisses me off, but it's so perfect at the same time. Yeah. So
she's good at that.
Yeah.
It's
okay, y'all.
I know that you're very, hey, there's Amanda.
I'm a Hot Mess Express, and I've been with Scentsy for 3 years, but I signed up for everything because you don't know if you like it unless you try it. But I keep finding my way back to Scentsy.
Mm-hmm.
And y'all, seriously, like, I earned a trip. Like, before I joined Scentsy, I had already been with multiple direct sales companies. But my first time I joined Scentsy, I actually earned the trip to, Florida? Florida. Yeah, I ended up not going because my daughter, her team made it to South Carolina for basketball, and it was the same week. So I wouldn't miss my daughter's stuff or anything. So I passed on the trip, but it is possible if you work hard. And you listen to April. She's great, and she knows what she's talking about. And so does Angie. Angie's great too. She is my upline, but I'm back and I'm staying. I'm not going anywhere.
Like, you know that you're always going to come back to us.
I know, but I'm a hot mess.
It's okay.
I'm a hot mess, and
you.
I know I gotta try it before I know I like it. But I've wasted so much money like an idiot. But I mean, you live and you learn.
You do, and you're back now. Like, you were on our first call. I was like, yay, there's Amanda. You live 2 blocks from me, so I'm super happy to see your face.
Yes, I'm excited to be back. I've been reading and watching some videos. I have the Rona, so I'm quarantined. Can't do nothing. So
hope you get better.
Thank you. I'm actually pretty lucky. I don't have any symptoms at all. I don't feel bad. I don't have any symptoms. I just went and got tested because I was directly exposed to it. And so I was like, I'm going to go get tested. And well, I had the Rona. So, but y'all, April is really great. And y'all should really utilize the groups because the answers are in there.
They are.
I've added some things from back in the past that I've had to go look up because I didn't know the answer to, but the groups are great.
They are. There's lots of good questions.
Yeah.
Hey, we're glad you're back, Kate.
All right, we got some more in the chat box. We've got Allison is great at learning someone's strengths and helping them grow in the areas that aren't so strong. And she's hilarious too. So good job, Allison. And then she said, OMG, I love you, Amber. You make me want to be better. I love that. And then Sherry says, Allison and Amber are not my leaders, but they help me out some of these crazy situations that always seem to find me. Love y'all. So good job with the teamwork makes the dream work there. Kimberly says, my director is Amber, and she knows when to text me and get me motivated when I'm struggling. So good job, Amber. Sherry Saldana says, Allison B is great. I just moved to San Antonio, so now I'm trying to build my customers up here. Congratulations on your move and good luck with that, Sherry. Bianca says, I'm at a basketball game. I did my best to listen. I always love all the info everyone in Scentsy gives to each other. Thank you, Bianca, for that. Anybody else?
Well, something I want to say before we go is I love my directors. They all keep me on my toes. So it's not just the me calling them, it's every one of y'all has a different purpose in my life, and every one of y'all keep me on my toes in my life. And we have a new one that keeps me on my toes, which is Jen and Jane. They're a bit more organized than I am. I don't know what I would do without them. And so everybody plays a different part. My directors play a different part in calling me and keeping me accountable and helping me keep on my toes, because I definitely could not run my team without my directors and them doing it with me. We're doing it together, and they do call me and chew my ass, believe it or not. They call me and say, I don't know what's wrong with you, but you need to pull your act together. Like, now we miss you. We need you to do this, this, and this. So know that they are all there for me, and that's every single one of y'all. And I love y'all for that. And thank you for everything that you do on a daily basis to help me keep this team up and going. And there was somebody on there. I'm sorry. I just saw Crystal, I think.
Yes, it's Crystal. I just wanted to say hi to y'all. I'm part of Amber's team. I joined in July, and I did it out of boredom because I'm working from home, and it's the first direct sales company I've ever done. No idea what I was doing, and just like ran with it and had a ball. I just was literally just having fun with it, and Amber constantly was on the phone. You're hitting this number. You've got this number coming up. Now you're going to hit this number, and I'm like, it's not going to happen. I'm like, okay, but that's a big number. It's not going to happen. But I just kept on having fun, and Amber's awesome. I can't say enough about her because she's, again, today, she's on it. She called me, and she's like, your PRV is getting up there. I think you've hit 10,000, or you're about to hit 10,000, and you're going to come up on another award. And I'm like, okay, I'm not even paying attention. So I just want to say Amber's awesome.
She is awesome.
Thank you, Crystal.
You're welcome.
She's our quiet one. I love her. She's doing our training next week.
My turn. I have a new director, Jen. Jen and I have known each other probably my whole time, 6 years with Scentsy, but she just became my upline director, and I'm thrilled to be working directly with you now. And our teams have grown so much, and we've got so much closer, and I just love everything about you. And you, April.
Y'all are both amazing.
So make me all sappy. We have been through it
for the draw.
No, we've been through it, you and me. You, me, and April, we've been through it. Good, bad, and everything in between. And I wouldn't change it because it's brought us where we are, and we're We're
Yeah,
a
we even
stronger
ended up at
group.
the Medic together in Kansas City.
Yes, we did.
Hey, we made things
Yeah.
happen in Kansas City that nobody ever thought they would see happen. It happened there. They didn't last long. It was a very short-lived little process.
We have
had it
pictures.
happen
We have
there.
pictures to prove it.
Yes, we do have pictures to prove it. It was short-lived, and then we moved on, and now things are better. And we have definitely come a long way since this
While
whole
everybody,
process.
while everybody was enjoying the baseball game, Jen and I were at the medic's office having ice packs on our heads.
We were like having heat stroke. It was terrible.
Well,
I don't
and
know.
the height.
The height. I don't know what got over us, but they like wheeled us to the medics.
Oh my gosh, it was hot there. It was
It
hot
was
there.
terrible.
Canadians were definitely like, oh my God, we're going to die. Like, we're literally going to die for this. You put them, and in Tennessee, it was the same way. The Canadians were like, oh my God, we're going to do like, I don't know what's wrong, but this heat's just not right. All this humidity. Yeah, it's quite funny to take. You take the Canadians out of Canada and bring them over here. They want to die. And
Oh yeah, we walked out of the hotel in Kansas City, and it was like a wall hitting us.
Just wait till August. We're coming to you.
We are.
We're coming to you. We're coming to Canada.
Yep.
I got to brag for a second because of Miss Jane. On the store director Scentsy page today, I was number 5 in year-over-year team wholesale volume growth for the month of October, which obviously had absolutely nothing to do with me. It was team wholesale growth and at number 5 out of all the store directors in the company. That's insane to me, and that's because of the awesome team that I have, and I love you guys. And yeah, I saw that in my name, and I had nothing.
And well deserved.
Yes,
it's all you guys, so thank you.
You gave me goosebumps.
I shared it in my story because it's like, and nobody really understands because it's all the acronyms and all, but like that was a big deal. Number 5 out of all the store directors, year-over-year percentage growth for team wholesale. That's crazy.
That's cool.
Crazy, and it's huge, and it's just going to get better from here.
Yeah. So thank you.
I'm almost hitting 80 team members. Like, I've grown so much the past 6 months. It's crazy.
You were just at like 18 the other day.
I was at 24. Well, I had 40, and then we lost quite a few.
Yeah.
So I went back down to 24. I think it was in April, and now we're hitting. If this girl in Australia joins, I think it's 80, 79 or 80.
Crazy.
Right. Very, very crazy. I'm trying to see who hasn't said anything. There's Gabriella. There is Kimberly. There's Sarah. Another share. Hold on. Hey, there's Angie. Oh, she's on Aaron's. So I was like, where's Angie at? She's coming.
I'm on Aaron's thing. Sorry. I don't even know if you can see me or talk to me. This thing's new to me, this Google thing. I've been trying to say something, but I wanted everyone to get a chance to say something because I could talk a lot. So April is my director, and I don't know if I was your first director. We're going way back in time, guys. I don't remember. Anyways, but April was 5 years ago. I joined Scentsy, and April was my director. This is before she bought the team. And so we've gone through a lot together, let me tell you what. And so no matter what, I just want to say, like, sometimes you'll have some disagreements. Sometimes you have disagreements with people, but let me tell you what, like, sometimes if you just kind of, sorry, I'm making samples at the same time. I'm trying to get rid of all these dang flyers before it goes out. Anyways, but just to let y'all know, like, sometimes if you have disagreements with people, just know that it's not the end of the world and stuff. Because sometimes there's been times where, we're like family. You family is not always butterflies and rainbows. Okay, let's just be real. But in the end, it's all what you make of it. And so me and April, we've gone through a long journey together, and we could spend forever on this call talking about it. But just no matter what, you know what you want in life. And I just appreciate April for always being there. And, she's my director. She's my superstar director. She's my sponsor. She's pretty much everything. And so kind of have all kinds of stuff. But we have a lot of great memories together that's not just Scentsy related. So, and I was a person that whenever I first joined, I bugabooed her a lot because I had goals and I had, that was just my mindset, and we just rolled with it and we learned together. She's a whole different leader, and I'm a heck of a lot different leader than I was 5 years ago when I started. And so we're all growing. Just want people to know that no matter what you're going through, sometimes you have disagreements with your leaders, and that's okay because we're all growing as people, just like family. You're not the same daughter, you're not the same sister as you were 5 years ago. So just keep that in mind. I just want people to know about that. Because I'm still growing as a leader. I know I'm not going to be the same leader next year or the next 5 years, and that's all what you put into it. So anyways, I just kind of want to give that little nugget, I guess, just in case, some people might be going through that. It is a two-way street. You have to meet people halfway, and that's really important. And it all depends on what you want and stuff. And, you have tons of support and leaders to back you up. And there's so many leaders and resources out there that's not even on our team. Like I go to a lot of YouTube. I go to a lot of, there's other leaders that inspire me that don't even know it. And that's okay too. But know that you have a lot of great people that have a lot of different journeys, and you can learn something from everybody. So always be open-minded and just, Scentsy spirit,
Yeah,
so, but thanks, April. And I don't know if Amanda's still on here. Amanda, she was my only person. And I have to brag about Amanda. I don't know if she's still on here, but
I'm here.
But out of all the 5 years that I've been in Scentsy, she's the only person on my team that's ever earned a trip. And I wish she would have gone with me, but I know she's going to get another one day because she already has the tools and knows what to do to get there. So now she just has to, I know she's going to get there. I already know it. I already have a feeling. And then we get to go on a trip together, which the trips are amazing to enjoy. But she's the first person that ever still has ever earned it on my team. So I want it for everybody, but we all have to work together. So anyways, thanks Amanda for coming back.
You're welcome.
Yeah, she's gonna be a
Thanks
director one day.
Thanks for taking me back, guys.
Yeah, she's gonna
Every
get things outside of her system, and then she'll come back and she'll be a Scentsy director.
Yes, I'm already done. I decided. I'm just gonna do real estate, my full-time job in Scentsy.
There you go.
All right, we have a question in the chat box, if everyone's good. Sarah says, I need help getting sales. I don't know what I'm doing wrong. I post every day, all day, every day on my Scentsy page and personal page, Snapchat, Marketplace, Instagram, and contacted my customers today, and I didn't get any replies from any one of them. What are your tips, please?
Angie!
Who wants to share there?
Angie! Our little
Okay, I'll go then. We need to do a whole nother training on this, but first of all, I'm doing this right now, making samples. Okay, you don't have to do this, but for me, I guess I've been doing this so much and so often that it just comes as a habit to me where it's not scary anymore. Passing out samples. I'll share some things that April taught me, and then extra stuff that just a few things when I first got started, because I have to go back and be like, okay, sometimes I have to go back to the beginning. Okay, something isn't working. What did I do in the beginning when I try to expand my network? And that's probably something I have to go and talk about on a whole different call. But first of all, you tried everything that you've done. So that's why I always tell people, like, do the things like contact people, follow up. Are you really following up with everybody? Because most of my sales come from a lot of follow-ups. Pretty much, I wouldn't say it's really follow-ups. I pretty much just kind of like to message everybody and be like, hey, this is what's coming up. This is what's new. This is what's coming back, like the Christmas tree, the starry Christmas tree's coming back. I literally message every single customer, whether they bought once from me, whether they bought with me 4 years ago. I literally message everyone and be like, hey, I just want to let you know that what was it? Like, I don't know what that Christmas tree is called. The starry Christmas tree is coming back for tomorrow. If you are interested, I'm putting a list together. Let me know if there's anything you need. Plus, is there anything else that you need? Even if they don't need something, they might be like, hey, oh my gosh, that warmer's coming back. Like, thank you for telling me. Or like, hey, how much is that warmer? Or hey, whatever. But I always message people about what's the new stuff that's coming out, because like, it's kind of think about like Black Friday. Okay. You like to know what's coming out before it launches, right? You know, because you want to be the first one in line getting it. You make your customers feel like they're those important people, because they are important. You know, they're the ones that make up your business and can also, you know, but possibly be potential recruits and so forth. So that's probably like my number one thing. I can easily, every time something new comes out, I just message them. And sometimes, like lately, Scentsy's been really pushing out a lot of new stuff. And I'm used to just message them twice a month. But now I've been messaging them like 3 times. But if I know stuff ahead of time, I will message literally just a list like, hey, this is coming out, this is coming out. Bring back my bars is fixing to come out, because there has to be something that they might possibly want or know someone else that might want something. That's probably like my number one thing. And of course, I pass out samples like nobody's business. Like I make samples constantly. I get the bricks off of Scentsy Club. They're just what works for me, or whatever scent. I try to pick a scent that has a lot of everything in it. Like, of course, like coconut lemongrass. I warmed a brick and I made these samples right here. And I literally carry this basket with me in my car everywhere I go. Like everywhere I go, someone's got to get a sample from me, and they already know me as a Scentsy. I wear my hat, I wear my gear. That's another thing. You got to self-promote yourself. Even if you're not saying anything, somebody can see your hat and be like, oh my gosh. Or they could see like April's sweater. She's wearing a Scentsy sweater. They're like, oh my gosh, you sell Scentsy. Like, I've got to find someone that sells light bulbs. You just never know. Your bag, something. My car's decaled. My husband's car is decaled. My hat. I have Scentsy shirts on that go out in public or do deliveries and stuff like that. I also post pictures of me using the products. That's probably another thing I really encourage people to do, is try every single product, because once you fall in love with it, it's like sharing versus selling. You have to like share with people like, oh my gosh, I love this laundry line. I use it. I haven't used anything else different since, which is true. I tell people, I show videos of me using it. I'm going live, showing products on hand. That's another thing. Showing products, be like, oh my gosh, this customer just ordered this warmer. I wanted to show it what it looks like live. If you're interested in ordering, please message me. And then if you have it on hand, of course, you could private message them and tell them you have it. Another thing that I always do, and I try to train my new girls to do, is to always utilize the bundle and save, because I always upsell. Upselling is huge, okay? Because a lot of people don't know about the bundle and save, because it's all the way in the back. People just see that one picture you posted on Instagram or Snapchat or whatever, and they don't know that you can bundle 3 wax bars and save money. They don't know that if you if you get this warmer and another $45 warmer, that you can bundle those together. Your holiday warmers. Pay attention to that and really study that bundle and save, because that's how I boost a lot of sales as well, is utilizing that bundle and save option. Another thing, since we're getting to Christmas, I also suggest doing like mystery bags. It doesn't work for everybody. I don't do it all the time. For some people, it works great. For some people, they kind of struggle with it. Sometimes I only sell like one. Try to get creative with stuff, especially around Christmas. Oh my gosh, Christmas is like the best time right now. You can do like a little sample, like example, just be like, hey, I'm fixing to make Christmas mugs. That's one thing that I sold probably about $500 worth last year, and it keeps getting bigger every year because people know I'm going to make those. Just be like, I'm taking pre-orders for my Christmas mug sets. There you go. Jen has an example right there. And you don't have to do a mug. You can put just a candy cane and a scent circle and a wax bar. You can get your kids to decorate the scent circles, making like reindeers or putting a red nose on it and little eyes or something. Get your kids involved in stuff too. There's tons of ideas, and I could probably go deep into that, but that's just one example. Start showing an example of something. Just get creative with it. You can go to Dollar Tree and get a lot of cute little stuff. Just whatever you got. Scent circle. Those little baskets that she has there. Start making like little examples of baskets. There's tons of creative people out there. I don't do it all the time, but there's some people on here that do monthly baskets, like themes and all that stuff. I don't have that time, but there's some people that are, and there's tons of information that could get you that help. So I would post on there, and that will start getting you sales. And just making baskets, get creative with it. I just do a scent circle and room spray, and just put it in a cute Dollar Tree bag that like the Christmas bags are already, you can get like 25 for like $1 or something. start promoting that. Also,
Angie, how about instead of
what
me
else?
going live in the group on the Wednesday before Thanksgiving, would you be willing to do a training to prepare these girls to get ready for Christmas, to do an order the last week of Thanksgiving, to be able to promote like the cups and stuff? You know, Jen, we had talked about me doing just a little live deal right before Thanksgiving, but there's that Wednesday before Thanksgiving. Would you have time to even put together, like, we won't do any, maybe not a lot of question and answers meetings, so we don't take up a lot of your time, but you just come in here and give us like a 30-minute one where you set up some cups and set up some of your ideas that Wednesday before Thanksgiving, so that people can do that to get prepared for teachers' gifts and get prepared for December.
It's the 25th, Angie.
I'm getting my calendar. Yeah, I could do that.
Can you
Or
do
not,
that?
I already have some already that I'm starting to do because I really want to do it sooner. I could probably post it in the group, the Team Get 'em group, just so to have ideas, but I could get deep into training on the 25th. But I want to go ahead and tell people now to do them now, because I've noticed that earlier you do it, we don't know if stuff's going to sell out quick. So especially if you post, I always give my people the option, like I send them the flyer for the room sprays. I'll let them pick what scent they want. Right now there's a lot of selection right now, but I'm scared like the later you go into Christmas or after. I try to do them now. Like I'm already posting them now. And I already got stuff that I'm starting to build already, because some people do Christmas shop before Thanksgiving. So I will go ahead and post pictures what I already posted in my team page, but I'll go ahead and post. I don't think I posted in the group. I'll go ahead and post in the Team Go Get 'em group so you can see all the examples I've done, and then kind of see where to buy them, because I use Dollar Tree. Dollar Tree has online where you can because I just used to buy in the store, but you can actually order online, and it's the same price, and you can get like a case of 24 and pay $24. The mugs, there's different insulated mugs, tumblers. I'll go ahead and post that because I started thinking about doing tumblers, or you can add it to your own basket. So if you have themes for customers or appreciation gifts or whatever, I'll go ahead and post that tonight. So just y'all start getting your get rolling. But I can get deep into it on the 25th.
Yeah, because
I can get deeper into it how to put it together. But I'll go ahead and post a post on it, because I kind of want to start this early, because we're not the only consultants that post that. It's a huge idea, and I don't want stuff to get sold out. So, unless you're placing an order tomorrow, because I'm placing an order tomorrow. So
no, but I
I'm
mean,
getting
like,
started early. But yeah,
go into the training on your sales tips. I think that lots of them are going to need it come rolling into December. Maybe you can help them kick off December. We only have so many weeks before we get Christmas delivery. So I think you coming in before Thanksgiving, you could give us some tips on what they could do for while they're at their families' houses on Thanksgiving, and what to help them wrap up November and how to start off December.
okay.
And maybe give us some tips, because you're going to sell 10,000 this month and probably sell 7, 8, 9 even in December, even when you only have a few weeks. So you're definitely one to help everybody with that training, and I would love for you to help all of us. Yeah, lots of good ideas.
I don't know if that helped her a little bit. Her questions. I'm trying to look in the chat if she has questions, but those are like the main ones that I've been doing lately that's been working, and that's what I did last month, because I almost made it to 10,000. I think I made like 8,900.
It was like 8912.
BRB, something like that. It was still my highest month, but I was trying to push to that 10,000. That's because I didn't have any events. Like all my events been getting canceled, so I've been pushing like extra harder, like every day to get to it. But I mean, I kind of work things different too. But I'll show my Scentsy Mobile, and then also gift ideas too, because I have my Scentsy Mobile too. Pretty much, I'm like a store, which that's a whole nother topic too. But I like selling. That's like, thanks for pointing it out, my strength. So I've been doing this a long time. And then I also have a degree in retail management. So I've been working in retail a long time. So I just love selling. I love it. It's so much fun. I get so excited when people buy stuff and it makes them happy and makes their home smell good and don't smell like dumpster anymore, or kids or fart. I'm just like, I had something to do with that. Like it just makes me happy. But, I hope those tips helped her out. I couldn't see the conversation, but hopefully those helped her out. But that's what I've been doing consistently, like consistent. I want to point out being consistent in it, just because you post for like a day or two and then you don't see anything. I mean, you keep posting, you keep sharing, you keep going live, you keep doing all these things, you keep trying and keep trying and keep trying, and pretty soon it ends up being a habit. We're sitting on a phone call making 100 samples because you want to get rid of these and stuff and mail them out, restaurants, just hand them out to people, be like, hey, I'm a Scentsy Consultant. Businesses, oh my gosh, if April talks about my wagon story. So
Yes.
oh my gosh,
Right,
I have a
that
lot of
wagon
stories.
Yeah,
But
so
yeah,
we'll do
anyway.
that. Yeah, we'll do that on the 25th, and that's the way you can prepare for it, and people can get that is something that I think that we're going to need towards the end of November and December, because we still place orders after Christmas. I always place orders after Christmas, but you really got to get out there and hustle, because we only have till usually it's the 19th. I don't know if they're going to push that date back because of all that we've been selling. And I saw the compliance deal. So now we are able to do mugs as long as the other product is no more than 10% of the Scentsy product. You can add to the Scentsy product. You can add the mug, the wrapping. You can add all of that. It only can be 10% of what the Scentsy product costs.
And you can't charge for the extras. You can only charge publicly for the Scentsy product. So like mine has a room spray and a scent circle, and then it's got coffee packets, it's got candy canes, and it's got the cup, but it's $11 because a room spray and a scent circle is $11.
But you can charge more for it, but you have to do it
in private message. Yes.
You cannot post a price that's more than what the
Than retail. Yeah.
You can say PM me for the price. Yeah, you can say PM me for the price, and you can charge $1 extra for the materials. But you have to do that in PM. You cannot do that publicly. It can only be the price of the product.
Yep. April, will you let's start wrapping it up. It's 6:15. Will you let us know what our topic and trainer is for next week?
Yeah, it's going to be Miss Amber. Yay! And she is going to talk about fundraising. Fundraising can most definitely be one that can bring you in new team members, new customers if you do them right, and it can bring that PRV up high to earn the trips. So Amber is amazing at fundraising. She thrives on fundraising. So she's going to come in here next Wednesday at 7 p.m. Central Time, 5 p.m.
Pacific,
6 p.m.
Mountain,
and 8 p.m. Eastern. Good gravy. Nah, one of these.
Wait till that Australian comes, and we have to try and figure out times with that.
Oh my gosh, yeah. So it is, but it will be the same time every Wednesday, guys. Sunday,
and the same link. It's the same link every Wednesday as well, if you want to save the link.
And we have our Sunday night meeting for shout outs and Q&As this Sunday, because it's a Sunday after payday. So I'll get Jen to post it. It will just be for us to shout out anybody that you want to shout out on your team, and for us to do Q&As. Know that this meeting will only last an hour. And it will just be for shout outs and Q&A. It's not going to be a training, but it will be a place for you to ask questions from the leaders, any questions that you want. But we will start at 7. We will cut it off at 8 o'clock. We need to make that one just an hour long, because that will be 2 meetings in 1 week. And as busy as a lot of the leaders are, it's hard for them to come on here twice in 1 week. So when we have to
I am going to go ahead and stop the recording now for tonight's training. Thank you for everybody who shared. Feel free to stay on after I stop the recording, but give me just a second to stop the recording real quick.